Hello. Good evening. I thought that was startling enough with my microphone on now. It's what is it, Thursday night here on the Pacific coast of America, and it is time for us to get another nighttime graham cracker rocket launch, which, happens about every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe more. So I always look forward to these. Um, Tonight we'll be launching a couple little satellites up there. We'll get into that as we move along. SpaceX is supposed to go live here in about 6 minutes, um, and we'll get right to the action here. Probably only about 15 minutes up until launch, which is about 21 minutes from now. So we'll see what we can get into for chat and figuring out what we're actually launching up there and the method and the madness to it. And like I said, I always look forward to the live space launches. So we'll get to it. And lids off and load up, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Looks like the sound effects are working. Obviously, this is YouTube looking at the SpaceX stream. We can probably go off of that, take a quick look at some of the good stuff that we're going to be seeing tonight. This is the launch forecast from it's the 45th, 45th, I think it's called the space, what are they called now? The They work technically for the Space Force now, so they're not the Air Force, but they're like the Space Force Command or something like that. And they'll be giving us the launch conditions, which I saw was 15% a while ago somewhere online, but this has been saying 10% all day, so that's what we like to see. We'll transition on over to where we're actually launching from tonight, which is not in Washington State, as you see there. We're actually launching from way down here in Florida. I think we're at Space Launch Complex 40. Let's see if I can find that one without too much. 39B. That's not it. Gone too far. Space Launch 39A, 39A, 39B, 41. We're right here, actually. So if you look at if you've seen the images from the ground on this, the one with the big four lightning rod towers, you can see here and over here and up in the corner. So that's where we're launching from tonight. The payload that we're launching tonight is two things. Going to Geostationary Transfer Orbit, which sets the satellites up to eventually get to geosynchronous orbit. So Geostationary Transfer Orbit, it's a back to just chat here. Geostationary Transfer Orbit's kind of like an intermediate stage, and then they'll actually use their thrusters and kind of circularize their orbit over time. I have a little animation that'll show us that. I'll get to it here in a second. I did want to play with my camera here a little bit. Not that. No. Got a little grainy on the top left there. There we go. I think that's better. Nope, it's not. It's worse. That's much worse. Anyways, I don't know what it is, but when I'm on my Just Chat, I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but I'm gonna try something here. Oh, it's still there. Well, whatever. Let's see if we can go to our PC stream. It's always interesting streaming off my PC because it's actually what I'm using to do all my blah blah blah. Hello, Brandon. How's it going, man? Yeah, I'm having some issues with my camera. That's better. I don't know what the hell happened. Anyways, Red Scorpion, welcome to the broadcast. Let's go back to. Let's see. This was the animation. It sounds like SpaceX has just gone live. So, this is an animation of Geostationary Transfer Orbit. Starting off an elliptical orbit, they'll gradually, use a little bit of engine thrust and gradually work their way out to where it's circularizing the orbit. I think this one took place over, what was it, maybe like a week and a half? 2 weeks? Let me see. So yeah, about 2 weeks to get to their stationary orbit, which will stay in the same place over the globe the whole time. That's what geostationary synchronous orbit means. These are our winds right now at the Cape, 13, 14 miles an hour. Not a big deal there. And if we go back to our PC stream, what's launching? Come on. Never mind. Okay. Let's go back here. Always have to mess with this. Okay, there we go. I don't know if I can technically play SpaceX's music or not, so I'll turn it down a little bit here for now. Check my share my stuff. Oh, you posted a bunch of fish pictures right as I posted my announcement, but then you posted the link to the stream anyway. Thanks, man. I don't think I would have been too butthurt about that. The shirt for the night is I love nuclear energy. Look at the white one, the white fish. Yeah, that's a pretty fish. So anyway, Brandon's directing me to our Discord. It's flaring at me. Are you a fish? Did you put on a fish face? I had a beta once, and I remember having it next to another one would piss it off. But that's all I know about fish, really. Okay, we are live.
9, 8.
Launch auto sequence has started.
6, 5.
So tonight,
4,
we're doing a Falcon 9.
2, 1.
Go for launch.
It will be landing on the Shortfall of Gravitas tonight.
Vehicle is supersonic.
The drone ship, ASOG.
Stage separation confirmed.
This is the fourth flight for this booster. First flew about 18 months ago. It was first flight was a commercial resupply to the space station. The other two, I can't remember off the top of my head.
And Falcon 9 has landed.
They'll be recovering the fairings with Doug.
Hello, everyone. You're looking at a live
We
view
get
of
Kate
Falcon
Tice
9,
tonight.
awaiting its 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at
Should
Cape
probably take
Canaveral
off the
Space Force
captions, huh?
Station, Florida.
Even though I love to see what
Welcome
they say.
to our live launch coverage of the IS-40E and Tempo mission for our customer, Intelsat. Today's launch marks our 222nd overall SpaceX mission to date and our 23rd launch
We're going to
this
speed
year.
up the...
My name is Kate Tice, Quality Systems Engineering Manager here at SpaceX, and I'm joining you today from SpaceX headquarters
her
in Hawthorne,
talk
California.
really
We have
fast for a
unique payload on
second.
board. The second stage tonight, IS-40E, is a geosynchronous communication satellite that will provide coverage over North America for
Oh, yeah.
Intelsat's commercial aviation, mobility, and network service
It's
customers. Attached to
speaking so
IS-40E is
fast.
NASA's Tropospheric Emissions
There we
Monitoring
go.
Pollution, or TEMPO, instrument. Operated by
was
Intelsat,
awesome.
TEMPO is a partnership between NASA and the Smithsonian Institution's
Ugh, and then I paused
Smithsonian
it.
Astrophysical Observatory and will improve life on Earth by revolutionizing the way scientists observe air quality. It will also be the first space-based instrument to monitor and track air pollution across North America on an hourly basis and report observations during the day. The satellite is scheduled to enter into service next month, and Tempo will start operations this summer. Here's a little more on Intelsat and today's payload.
Should probably kill the sound on this too, because I watched this video earlier. Alright, killing the sound for that. Wish I could go full screen and have live chat up at the same time. It's challenging, because I'm going between tabs on Windows to get back to the different screens that I have. I don't have an offset monitor that I can stream everything through. But Intelsat technically it's more internet connectivity, high throughput, and it's going to be for mostly North America, Central America. And they will provide connectivity for people on airplanes, boats. They also support the government and military. So the worldwide global internet thing is what everybody's in business for right now. You found the pop-out, chat? I'm not sure what you're talking about. So I killed the closed captions, but I want to make sure I'm up to speed with this. Hold on. Let's see if I can figure that out. I don't want that. No. I guess I'm live, so I guess we're going with that. Back to full screen. Let's see who this is.
I'm excited to join you and Kate to cover the
Hello,
IS-40E
Ronnie.
mission tonight.
I don't know
With
who you are.
liftoff just about 7 minutes from now, I want to talk to you first a little bit more about the rocket supporting tonight's launch.
We're going to
Our
talk about the Falcon 9.
vehicle that you see on the pad is a two-stage rocket designed and
Two stages.
manufactured by SpaceX. Standing
9 engines.
229 feet tall,
Merlin
the
engines
Falcon
on the
9
bottom.
is about 40 feet
One
taller than the
Merlin
leaning tower
vacuum
of
engine
Pisa
on the
in
second
Italy.
stage.
And for all you Star Wars fans out there, Falcon
Yes,
9
it was named after the Millennium
after
Falcon.
the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars.
I've never heard that before.
The number 9 indicates the number of Merlin 1D engines on the first stage, which make up the bottom 2/3 of the vehicle. Speaking of the first stage, its objective is to accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to space, and then separate from the rest of the rocket. This first stage, also referred to as the booster, is flying for the fourth
Booster.
time.
RP1 load complete.
There you hear the call out that we've completed RP1 loading into the booster, which again is flying for the 4th time today. It previously supported CRS-26, OneWeb Launch 16, and a past Starlink mission. We will attempt to recover this booster again on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas,
got a little,
which is currently positioned in the Atlantic
little
Ocean.
foggy, windy action there. Look at that.
If successful, that will mark our 184th landing of an orbital class rocket.
Anybody that's watching, how's my volume compared to theirs?
Falcon Heavy side boosters.
My PC streams are
Moving
always a
on
little
up, above the first stage is the second
on the fly.
stage, which has a single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine that ignites after stage separation. The second stage is what will carry the Intelsat 40E and NASA Smithsonian Tempo payload to orbit.
So the second stage doesn't come back.
Speaking
They
of
will
the
be
payload,
deorbitating
it's
it,
currently safely tucked inside the
usually
17-foot
over
diameter payload fairing that you see on your
geez,
screen
what,
now.
the South
It's
Indian
a large
Ocean off the
barrel
coast of
structure with
Australia
pointed
somewhere.
nose at the very top of the rocket. Made of carbon composite
could go up a
material,
bit.
the fairing protects the payload
There's-
from aerothermal
okay.
heating and contamination.
Hello,
on
yep,
its
it's
trip
me.
to space. Before being jettisoned
Thanks, Brandon.
approximately 3 minutes into
Like I
flight.
said, yeah,
Much
deorbitating
like
over the
stage,
ocean out in the
fairing
middle of
halves on
nowhere.
today's flight are
Although,
flight proven. One half is flying for
how
the
long
second
ago
time,
was it,
and
Holly?
the
About
other
like
for
a
its
year ago or
eighth.
something like that? It didn't quite.
There
The
you hear
engines
call
didn't
out that we're
quite
getting ready for
fire
strong
the way they
back
wanted it
retract.
to,
After
and
separation, those
came
fairing halves
down
will
a
return
lot
to
further
Earth to be
away than where it
recovered
was.
by
It
a
was
recovery
basically over
vessel
the
deck.
northwest coast of America, and
And the
we could
large
see,
truss structure that you see next to Falcon 9
like the
is what we
fire
were just
coming
talking
down.
about
It
on
was
the nets.
deorbitating.
That's the transporter erector, or TE for short. We use it to roll the rocket out to the pad and raise it to its vertical launch position ahead of takeoff.
Strong back loader started.
The call out there says that we're beginning to pull the
yeah,
TE
that was
away
cool.
from
And
the
I missed
vehicle.
it probably by
The
what, like
TE
half
also routes the
an
vehicle's
hour?
fluids, power,
I
and
think I'd gone
telemetry
out to look at the
umbilicals from
space
ground
station
systems
flying over
to the rocket and
and
satellites
came back in, and
until
then
Falcon 9
Molly gets on her
transfers to
phone and
internal
shows
power
me,
and clears
look at
the pad.
this. I'm like, where is that? And she goes, it's right
There
above
you
us.
can
And I
see
was
the
like,
clamp arms
shit.
are opening up beneath
Totally
the fairing
missed it.
in preparation for full TE retraction.
I want to see them launch it vertically. No, I want to see them launch it horizontally.
And as Ronnie mentioned, those clamp arms are now open, and we should hear the call out momentarily that the strong back is reclining. Actually, I think we can see it there.
You can see the
on
strong
screen
back,
now.
the clamps removing, and the
At
strong back
T0, the
actually
ground
tilting
hydraulic
back a
systems
little
will pull
bit.
the TE
Goes to
even
what,
further
like
away
2 or
from the
3
Falcon
degrees?
9
Not
as
very
it
far
lifts
away.
off.
And then it kind of gradually goes away as it lifts off. We are 3 minutes, 27 seconds to lift off.
At this point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are nearly
think
fully
that
loaded with 1
deserves
million
some
pounds
tequila.
of liquid oxygen and kerosene fuel. We use 2 propellants, a refined form of kerosene.
Stage 1 lock flow complete.
There we heard that call out. Stage 1 is now fully loaded with all of its liquid oxygen and fuel. Stage 2 is undergoing its LOX load. Full fuel load is complete on Stage 2. We expect LOX loading to wrap up at T-2 minutes. The liquid oxygen is chilled well below its boiling point so that it has a much greater amount of mass per volume, allowing us to load more of it into the rocket. In addition to these 2 propellants, we
I guess
also
maybe I
use a
should have put
chemical TTEB, or
21
triethyl
plus
aluminum and triethyl
on the
boron,
stream.
and we use that as our
But,
ignition
you know.
source. The combustion of RP1 and
Lots of
LOX is what
18-year-olds
makes
out
the
there that
rocket
have-
go,
that have,
and it's the TTEB that sets
tried
the
alcohol
match
before.
to that propellant.
Not
mix.
too late. I'm not worried about it.
So once again, the
Shots
first stage
fired. Yeah,
has all of its
I only
propellants
put
on
the age
board,
disclaimer
fully loaded with
on
all of its
Overlook
liquid
Horizon.
oxygen and
Everywhere else I
RP1.
posted on Discord,
That
I
RP1 load is
don't.
complete on the second stage, and we're expecting the LOX load to wrap up here any second now on the second stage.
So second stage is about to be
At
fully
T-minus 60
loaded.
seconds, we'll hear the call out. The Falcon 9 is in startup. It's an indication that the
The
onboard,
launch director will
internal
give
flight
his-
computers have taken over the launch
give their
countdown.
approval.
And just inside T-minus
45
2
seconds.
we light the Merlin 1D engines for liftoff.
We
Stage
should be
2
coming
lock
up
flow
on
complete.
the last big
And there's
event
that call out. So as of now, Falcon 9 is fully
where
loaded
the
with all
transporter
of its
erector will
propellants.
be draining
The IS-40E and Tempo
LOX.
payload continues to
So
be
it's
healthy.
usually a big cloud
and the
that comes
Falcon
out
9
around
team is tracking
right
no
about
major
now.
issues on the rocket. Currently, weather is green.
As you can see that from this way far out
Weather is
shot
green,
that they're
and the
seeing
range
there.
is ready to support a T0 of 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, just 1 minute and 20 seconds from now. We heard that call a little bit ago for the ground closeout.
So at 1 minute, we'll go to Falcon 9. We'll go to startup, which means the computers on board will take over the countdown.
To the vehicle.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
All right, there's that call out letting us know that the onboard flight computers have taken control of the launch countdown.
LD, go for launch.
Launch
And there's
director
our
is
final
go.
Go for launch tonight, coming from our launch director. We're now at T minus 35 seconds.
I pretty
All
much have
systems are go
let her
for
talk
launch of
tonight.
Falcon 9 with the Intelsat 40E and NASA
30 seconds.
and the NASA Smithsonian Tempo payload. Let's listen in to the terminal count.
All right, we're 20 seconds. I've got 2 of you in here. Let's get a go, no go for chat, or for launch. Go, no go for chat. How about go, no go for launch?
10, 9,
You want me to do the F of the week? I'll get to that. Jeez, right now.
4,
Anyways,
3,
let's
2,
go. Let's go.
1. Ignition, engines full power, and lift off.
All right.
40E, go Intelsat, go Falcon. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Lift off.
M1D chamber pressure nominal.
There's good and bad things about
If you're
the
just
night
joining us,
launches.
those gorgeous views on your screen mean that Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. During
Nominal power and telemetry.
they call out there that nominal power and telemetry for the vehicle. During this phase, which is called ascent, we tilt the engines. The technical term for this is called gimbaling.
Gimbaling.
And that turns the rocket horizontally in what we call a gravity turn.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
They're getting
There's a call
in
out that
depth on
Falcon
this.
9 is now traveling faster
They don't
than
normally
the speed of sound.
explain all that stuff.
During this period, we're still going up, but we're also heading horizontally away from the launch
Max
pad.
Go up and then go sideways really
Just
fast.
moments ago, we
That's
throttled
how you
down
get
in
to
preparation
and stay
for
in
max
orbit.
Q, which is the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see.
Gotta
in
run to
ascent. So that's
Arby's.
what's happening right now. The rocket typically needs to go about 17,500
All right.
miles per
Sounds
hour
good, Brandon.
horizontally in
Pick me
order
up
to avoid being pulled back to Earth and reach orbit.
What do they call
Now
those?
we're going
The
to have
beef and
3
cheddar.
events coming up in quick succession, starting with main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is the point during the flight where we shut down the 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Shortly after that, stages 1 and 2 will separate from each
the
other, so that the second
flames
stage
are-
isn't carrying unnecessary
see
mass
they're
to
actually-
orbit. And of
the
course,
plume
first
is
stage
much
booster
wider
begins its trip back to
now,
Earth.
as you can see,
The
because
last
the
call out
atmosphere
you
is a lot
heard was
thinner.
about the MVAC engine. That's what we're going to start up
So they'll
during
be
SES-1, or
chilling
second engine start 1. That's the period during the
the
flight where
MVAC
we'll
engine
ignite
right
the
now.
Merlin vacuum engine on board the
And we
second
are
stage
close to
for the
MECO.
first time.
Main engine cut off.
So we'll see all 3 of those happen back to back just about 10 seconds from now.
See, they don't have a second engine start on their little timeline there. But we're going for stage separation now.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed.
And they usually start clapping at stage separation. Well, it's a light crowd tonight in Hawthorne.
MVAC ignition.
I think there was like 2 people
So
clapping.
there you heard and definitely saw those great views on your screen. 3 events happening back to back. Main engine cutoff,
Second
stage
engine
separation,
start.
and SES-1. Coming up next will be fairing separation in just a couple of seconds.
So you
During
can
this
kind of
portion
see
of the
the
flight,
outline
we'll
of the Earth
jettison
there on the
both
left.
fairing halves and then attempt to retrieve them again today.
I'm not sure when I should redeem this F of the week for you there.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Should have fairing sep here. This isn't a classified payload, so we should get to see quite a bit. There goes the fairings.
There we've got confirmation of fairing
I'll
separation,
switch back
which means
to
both
the booster
fairing
view.
halves are
See
on
if we
their
can
way
watch
back
it fly
to Earth
away.
to be recovered by our recovery vessel, Dove.
Nope.
Coming up next, there
Too
are
dark.
2 burns for our first stage as we prepare for landing on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas.
There's the re-entry burn for the booster, and then the landing burn. that she'll probably just tell us about here coming up.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
We're now T plus 3 minutes and 54 seconds into today's mission.
And then
And
Kate
we're
gets
currently,
back on.
as you see there on your screen, we're in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns that will occur prior to satellite deployment.
I didn't
At
exactly
T
see how
plus
long
6
the
minutes
coast
and
phase was going to
31
be
seconds,
tonight.
or around there, you should see on your screen the first stage's entry burn. For that entry burn, we relight 3 M1D engines, which are those 9 engines at the base or the bottom of the first stage. We will relight first the center engine, or called E9, and then shortly thereafter, we will also relight 2 radial engines, engines 1 and 5. And all 3 of those together will help slow the vehicle down as it passes back into the Earth's atmosphere. We perform that reentry burn in order to slow down the booster, which helps to reduce those reentry forces that it sees, and in turn, that helps us recover and reuse our first stages.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal
So
trajectories.
what she's saying is if they didn't do the reentry
Although
burn,
we
it
can't
just
see
burn
the
up
first stage right
as it comes
now,
back
you
down.
can follow along with the telemetry there in the bottom left-hand corner for stage 1, and then that stage 2
Yeah, we lost
telemetry there
the
in
camera on the
right-hand,
booster.
bottom corner of your screen. We can see that the first stage is now beginning its descent back to Earth, so it has already passed through its apogee, making its way
So the
back
booster keeps
down.
going
This
up,
time we're
actually, after
targeting a
separation. It
landing
doesn't actually
on
just
our
kind of
drone ship,
stop
which
and
is
start
parked
to
a couple
drop.
100 miles off the coast of
Right now
Florida
it's
in
at
the
112
Atlantic
kilometers, which
Ocean.
is still above the Kármán line, which is the
During that entry
internationally
burn,
recognized
Falcon 9
borderline for
decelerating
being
by
in
firing
space.
its Merlin engines,
And that's at
but it's
100
still moving
kilometers, so
very
technically it's
rapidly.
still
This causes the vehicle
still
to
in
fly
space.
through Merlin's exhaust gases, also known as the rocket's plume, and by doing so, we get a deposit of soot on the,
It gets
on the
sooty.
vehicle surface.
It gets a little sooty on the
That soot
booster
then,
as it
basically
flies
comes
right
from
through
the
its own
carbon-based
flame.
fuel that Falcon 9 uses.
I wonder what it'd be like if they had the methane.
We're expecting that
the
entry
methyl
burn
locks.
to begin in about 20 seconds.
I wonder if that would
Everything
matter
continues
as
to
far
look
as the
good there
soot
for that second
keeping their
stage.
rockets
You
nice
can
and
see
shiny.
that MVAC engine, which is the singular Merlin engine designed for use in the vacuum of space, attached there to our second stage.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
All right, so there on that left-hand side of your screen, those stage 1 views are back. We can see that entry burn has begun, and it's also illuminating the grid fins, which help to steer the booster for re-entry and
Oh, we got
also
the
to
camera
make a
back.
precise landing.
So we're in the entry burn. Lasts about
Stage 1, entry
20,
burn
30
shut down.
seconds, and we're done.
All right, we can see that entry burn has
Both
concluded.
vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
As a reminder, the
Brandon, you
first
could also
stage
get one of
that
those gyros
we
they have at
saw there
Arby's.
on the left-hand side of your screen, that
My wife
performed
likes
the
those.
entry burn for the 4th time. It previously supported CRS-26, OneWeb Launch 16, and a Starlink mission. Falcon 9 is the world's first orbital-class reusable rocket, and this is important because reusability allows SpaceX to refly the most expensive parts of the rocket, which in turn drives down the cost of space access.
Terminal guidance.
She says that as it's some huge savings.
The next major milestone we
And
have coming up
And it is,
SECO,
but
or
it's still a
second
lot of
engine
money to
cutoff
launch something
1,
up into space.
which is coming up in about 20 seconds. That will be followed very quickly.
Stage 1, transonic.
That call out tells us that the first stage is traveling near the speed
Under
of
this
sound. That first stage will
transitioning through
begin its
supersonic
landing
speed
burn
to
just after we have the second
not
engine
supersonic speed.
cut off.
All right, so we're going to have landing burn and SECO, second engine cutoff 1, because they'll probably have 2. And
All right, there's that
there
call
goes
out telling
the
us that we had
booster,
successful
or the second
shutdown
stage.
or cutoff
Here
of
comes the
Falcon
landing
9.
burn coming up on the booster. It's hard to
You can see
see
landing
the
burn
drone
has
ship
begun
below
there
because there's a
on that
lot of
screen.
clouds.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
You can see those grid fins working hard to steer it back to the drone ship for its landing.
Nominal orbit
Just
insertion.
about for booster landing.
Great
Coming
call
right
out there
down at it
indicating
now.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
a little off center. But looks like we're down. There we go.
Stage 1 landing.
Successful landing. Nice.
There you can see on your screen an amazing view as always. That landing marks SpaceX's 184th
Well, you missed
recovery
the-
of an orbital class
You
rocket,
missed the launch.
including first stage landings for Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. The mission isn't over just yet. We did hear the call out telling us that the second stage achieved
Oh,
good
that's
orbit.
the
so it
part
is
you
now
consider
embarking on
important.
its first coast phase.
And it is.
After this coast phase, we will light that MVAC engine for a second time, and that will happen around the T plus 26 minute mark. So hang tight. We'll see you back here in about 15 minutes.
All right, so we're on space jams here, and I have to turn those down. The space jams. All right, well, I don't know if Brandon's still watching. I have to redeem the F of the week first. So, cover your ears. Actually, I have to turn the volume up for that. Hold on a second. Real quick.
Shut the fuck up. I will fucking laser you with alien fucking eyes and explode your fucking head.
So that's a little bit disturbing. And now I'm being called out to wear the Darth Vader mask, which I think you were the last one to redeem that as well. So we'll do that for 10 minutes. I'll start myself a timer here. All right. Be right back. Luke, I am your daddy.
I'm your daddy.
You could hear that. I don't know if you could or not. There's been an addition to Darth Vader's helmet. As you can see, we had a birthday party for one of our offspring. And he was into the Minions at the time. So we've got Minions. Darth Vader is supporting the Minions. They've paid him a fee for this promotional visit that he's having right now. So Darth Vader's gone commercial. Okay, so trying to see through this at the timeline is a little bit difficult. I think she said about 15 minutes. And it's probably been like 2 or 3, so. I can see why Darth Vader's very popular choice. It's going to be interesting sometime when I'm doing a video game stream, because for those I wear my glasses because I can see my computer fine from where I'm at, but if I'm streaming off my TV, which I do when I play video games, I have to wear my glasses, so I probably have to abandon them for this. And then it's also hard to see where the end of the microphone is, so I'm constantly hitting it. Holly got a text from mom. She had a some sort of doctor's visit yesterday, and so she wasn't feeling up to being on the stream tonight. So we miss you, Star Lady Wah. I think you're my most recent follower from the last rocket launch we did, which was Crew 6. Since then, I've been able to see the space station go over me once last week sometime. It's the first time I'd seen it in a couple months. Being in Washington, you get a little bit of rain, a little bit of cloud cover to say the least. So for good portions of the year, even when it's flying right over me, I won't be able to see it because of the clouds. I'm kind of surprised Time Waster isn't on here. He must have crashed. Either that or it's too early for him. I did a stream 3 nights ago for the new Electronic Arts PGA Tour golf game. He was on that for a lot of it, and I didn't start until probably, what, 9:30, 10 or something like that. My time, so he was on pretty late his time, or I guess pretty early. I can see something on the timeline now, but it's so small and it's hard to see through this mask, so I can't really tell what it is. But I know we're heading towards second engine start 2. That'll be a lighting of the MVAC engine again. It's usually brief, for maybe just a couple of seconds usually, and that's enough to put them in the orbit they want to be in. And like I was saying earlier, we'll go back to that screen now. Where did it go? So this is the animation of, this is EcoStar 17. So it starts in that elliptical orbit, and gradually over the course of about 2 weeks will burn its engine here periodically to circularize its orbit, which is usually around 40,000, 42,000 kilometers away from the Earth, and will kind of sit over the same spot of the Earth and just basically rotate with the Earth. So that's called geosynchronous orbit, or what is it? There's another name for it, and it's slipping my brain right now. But anyway, the 2 satellites they're sending up, one is a internet connectivity satellite for North America, Central Europe. The other one is a Smithsonian satellite called Tempo, which NASA loves their... It's weird to hear Darth Vader talking about NASA. He's talking about those rudimentary humans that can't even do light speed. There's no jump to hyperspace with those stupid humans. They can barely get to their own moon. What kind of crap is that? But the NASA Smithsonian satellite is, like I said, they love their acronyms. It's TEMPO. It stands for Tropospheric Emissions Monitoring of Pollution. So it's going to use, I think it's UV spectrometers to measure the amount of pollution over North America. So we can know just how fucked up we're making our planet. So let's go back to the SpaceX feed. Yep, it's me. What would you like to hear Darth Vader talking about? You. Alright, that's fair. I can see why you had a hard time breathing in this to start with. It's not easy. Plus, I think it looks a little funny with my headphones on. I didn't design the Vader mask. The Empire didn't design the mask for my Sennheiser headphones. Yeah, it looks like SES2 and Seco 2, not very far apart. And then I'll check to see how long it is until deployment to see if we're going to stay around for that or not. Yay! A little easier to breathe now. I think all future space streams we veto the invader. Might be a good idea. I just hardly ever mess with my redeems because not a lot of people do them. You could shut them off, or maybe 2 minutes instead of 10. Yeah, that might be better. So I can always go in and adjust those. I don't even know if I have a limit on it. Like if somebody else redeemed it, I'd have to do it again.
I'm your daddy.
Could you hear that? I could make you wear it all night with all my coin. Yeah, that'd be awesome. You did? Good. I have all these sound effects and I don't really have any for my space streams. I guess that shows you how often we do them. Maybe like 6 a year, if we're lucky. Although the last one, the Crew 6 launch was nice. They should be coming back live here in the next minute or two. Oh, deployment's not that far out after actually the after second engine cutoff to deployment is, I don't know, probably what, 5-6 minutes out? That's great. It's good timing. So you can see stage 2 now over the southwestern coast of Africa. It's actually pretty incredible how fast those machines are going. Started in Florida 25 minutes ago. It's over Africa now. Can you, Axolotl? I know, I think you're in the Mediterranean somewhere, if I remember correctly. In Cyprus, yeah. It's a very exotic place near Turkey and Greece, yeah. Got a lot of locks coming off that booster there. Or that engine, I guess. You wouldn't call it a booster, you'd call it an engine. Well, that's a better view. That's cleaner. Ooh, there's a rather large space mouse just jumped off there. Space mouse just pieced out. Looks like you could see the moon in the background on that last shot too. I always love seeing that. Another space mouse. Yeah, just above the engine there. There goes another space mouse. Oh, we're back, so let's turn up the volume.
Sony Tempo payload for our customer Intelsat. We've had a nominal mission so far.
I'm not going to bother moving
launched
myself
on time
over
at
her
12:30
picture, so
a.m.
whatever.
Eastern from Space Launch Complex 40, and then
Holly,
successfully landed
Holly, how
on
do you
our
like
drone
the
ship, A Shortfall
chat
of Gravitas.
that's actually showing
While the
on
second
the
stage
screen now?
completed its first burn, taking our payload into its initial parking orbit. We're just about 5 seconds away from a second ignition of the Merlin vacuum engine, which will carry the second stage and today's payload into the orbit needed to deploy the satellite.
Lighten.
There's the
there we go.
confirmation we've got for SES-2, second
Now when
engine
it's over my
start
face.
2.
What do you mean?
This burn of the MVAC
It doesn't
engine
go over
is
my
planned
face.
to last just about a minute.
The bottom of the box is right where you see it.
Right now you can see the MVAC skirt glowing orange as it burns. Excuse me, as the engine burns.
Yeah, it shouldn't be over my face. It should just be
While the MVAC and Merlin
right above
engines
there.
on board the first stage are quite similar,
Right
the
above.
MVAC is unique
above.
in that it's been optimized to perform in the vacuum
There.
of space, which gives it its name, Merlin Vacuum.
Thank you. I think it's going to be good for, because I'm going to upload all my rocket
Just about 10
streams,
seconds to go on
to
this burn
YouTube.
before we expect to hear the call out for SECO 2.
Thanks for showing me what a box is. Gotta learn something every day, right?
MVAC shutdown.
There's the
And second engine
confirmation
cut
of
off
MVAC
too.
shutdown.
I have not heard about all the drama on Twitch.
Nominal
Unless you're
orbit
talking
insertion.
about Hogwarts
That call-out
Legacy.
confirms that we're in the correct orbit. So
Which
right
I've
now,
already
the payload is
gone all the
still
way through.
attached to Falcon 9's second stage, with deployment scheduled in just about 4 minutes. While we
All right.
wait, sit back and enjoy the views.
No, enjoy the space jams is what they were talking about. Someone was dancing with a gun on Twitch threatening someone. I don't see a way that's, that shocking. I mean, people do Facebook Live of stuff like that, but yeah, there are idiots everywhere. It's just up to the people on Twitch or whatever to kill that shit before it gets out of hand. So we're 4 minutes from deploy, and then we will be signing off for the night. Yep, how's the number one? Ah, we're coming across to the light side. We've gone from the dark side to the light side, laughing her ass off. So she will need her nighttime sleepy pill after this is done, correct? She is her father's daughter. I'm not sure that's a backhanded compliment. Do I laugh my ass off all the time? I know I laugh at myself a lot. So we're going to see a daytime deploy here. I don't think she's been off her video game for more than 5 waking minutes. Well, I do not get that luxury, although I get a good fair amount of time for video games, thanks to you. I totally believe you. I know our daughter. She'll probably be very tech savvy. The addiction is strong with this one, yes. She inherited it from Daddy.
I'm your daddy.
I don't know why, but I really like that one. Seriously. Should be coming back shortly for deploy. Okay, here we are.
The IS-40E and Tempo mission. We've had a nominal mission so far with an on-time liftoff at 12:30 a.m.
I guess the
Eastern
chat's
time,
over their
followed
face.
by successful ascent,
Come on,
stage
SpaceX. Move your
separation,
box
and
up to the
2
top of the
second
screen
stage
there.
engine burns. We're now coming up on the final mission milestone of the day, and that's payload deployment, of course. And that payload, that, as you see there on your screen, will be deploying from our second stage. As a reminder, our customer for today's mission is Intelsat, and their IS-40E payload is a geosynchronous communication satellite that also features a NASA payload, TEMPO, or Tropospheric Emissions Monitoring Pollution. The payload will be operated by Intelsat, but TEMPO is a partnership between NASA and the Smithsonian Institution's Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory.
Thank you for joining. Just in
Still in
time to see
separation
deploy.
confirmed.
There we go.
A beautiful
Floating
view
away,
there,
baby.
as you can see, and as we heard called out, successful confirmation of the Intelsat 40E and
You can
NASA
see its engine
Smithsonian
there on the
Tempo
back of it.
payload.
That's what it'll use to get itself out to geosynchronous orbit. I'm sure they'll deploy the
All of us here at SpaceX
Solar
want
wings
to
there
give a
soon.
big thank you to our
Expected
customer,
loss signal Cabone.
Intelsat, for entrusting us
Primary.
with today's mission. We also want to give a shout out to the Range and Federal Aviation Administration for supporting today's launch. Tonight's flight concludes SpaceX's 222nd
There we go, 2
overall
bling
mission
redeems
to
and a
date
launch.
and our 23rd
You're right,
launch of
Alistair.
2023. Thanks to all our viewers for tuning in.
It's really cool
Hope
that
you
it's
enjoy the rest of your morning,
only
and we'll see you
33
again
minutes
soon.
from launch time that they've gone to deploy. And that's going to do it for us for the night. So let's bring it back to just chat. Actually, stream ending, I think. There we go. Alistar, let me add those two to the fund. I can't exactly remember where we're at, but Holly very much appreciates it. Let's see, where does that put us? 199. Red, you're back. You just missed deploy, and we're ending the stream soon. But Holly's up to almost $200 for the Bling Fund. Alistar, thank you very much. Thank you for dropping by. Before I go, Brandon, you got to tell me what you got. I need to know this information. I will drop my Discord link in case anybody wants to join. What did you get from Arby's? Said you went to Arby's. Grabs the last remaining 70 points and chucks them into the total. Not quite. It doesn't quite work that way. Beef and cheddar. That's what I said. I said you'd pick me up one. Did you do it? Give me some curly fries. The jalapeno bites aren't that good. Yeah, we've gotten those before. They're a little tame for me. Actually, I think the best jalapeno poppers you can get from fast food is from Jack in the Box. Sure, he'll be there in 4 days. No worry. They're edible then, right? I could just refry them in my air fryer, kill everything that was on them. Anyways, while we're chatting here, I'm gonna scope on somebody to raid here, which will be interesting because I'm entirely sure who to raid on one of these space streams. I think the last time I raided somebody that was doing Kerbal Space Program 2, and they didn't like the fact that I'd been streaming Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, SP2. This guy is going to Duna, which I think is Mars. So let's check him out. See how Kerbal Space Program 2 is going for some other people. It's going okay for me. I haven't fired it up in about a week and a half or so. I do have a Kerbal that's currently sitting on the Mun or the moon, just sitting in his second stage. That I basically suicide landed on the moon. It didn't have like landing gear or anything like that. I just wanted to see if I could get it down on the surface, which I did. And then we deployed the solar wings, and so he's just chilling on the surface. So let's do this guy here. See what they're going on with. And I thank you guys for joining. And next stream should be tomorrow night, where we'll be doing some EGA, some EA PGA Tour golf. Just waiting for the ads to run out, and then we will join into this guy's stream. Hopefully he's speaking English. Doesn't really say. He's colorblind. Backseating allowed. Alright, so getting closer. Ugh, all these ads. Anyways, let's set up the raid here. He's dead now? What do you mean he's dead? Oh, I forgot. Jensen. Okay, there we go. More ads. Goodness. Now to see the spaceship he's rocking here. It's actually really interesting. Put a lot of time into this. Like, I just launch up the rockets, like, totally generic color. This guy's pimped his rockets out. Are we almost ready here? Good lord. Okay, we're in. All right, you guys, we're rating. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. It was fun. It's always fun doing the space streams, and we'll see you next time. Take care.